Hi, welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. We're here showcasing nonprofits that are doing great things in the community. And to start off tonight, we are going to be talking with the Gresham Center for the Arts. They are promoting their Third Thursdays program. And here to present is Cindy Passananti from the Gresham Center for the Arts. And the guest for the next show, which is Michael C. Smith. And you're a percussionist with the Portland Columbia Symphony. Mm-hmm. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So I did a little checking on you. You do a whole lot more than just the Portland Columbia Symphony, so yeah. I want to talk to you about that. But Cindy, maybe you could give us just a brief rundown for anybody who has missed you on a previous appearance as to what the Center for the Arts is about and the Third Thursdays program.
Well, Center for the Arts is the foundation that really promotes and helps people and artists communicate with the community. And we bring on, in the summer, we have Music Mondays. It's a free opportunity for music groups to play at the plaza.
And for people to come and dance.
Come and dance and play in the water fountains and enjoy the music. During the winter, we do the Third Thursday Studios. And this is where we bring kind of a different artist and venue every month, so that it's like sitting in the living room and visiting with an author, a storyteller last month. Michael is here to talk about percussions and how the sounds make your body feel. And then next month we'll have the two gentlemen that started White Bird, the dance company. Right. So that's going to be very exciting.
You've had a real variety.
We try to hit the different venues that art takes on so many different forms. Mm-hmm. From last year we had an animator that talked about how to, he started animation through the computers. Mm-hmm. And worked with Disney, Walt Disney, and a lot of pictures. We've had a sculpturist who made things out of junk. And the junk. And that was exciting. So each one is a different production, and we hope people will come out and take the opportunity to meet these different forms.
And I went to my first one, this last one, which was Will Horniak, this professional storyteller. It was so fun. We had, there was wine, there's little hors d'oeuvres there, and you feel like you're in your own living room, and you just have some friends over.
And the other thing is that it's at the Gresham Historical Museum. If you haven't been in there, it's a great time to kind of wander around that building and
I'd watch
find
this
all the
guy.
cool
He might
stuff.
be taking some of those things and making music.
Well, we were a little worried when our sculpturist came, because he kept going, "Wow, these are really cool stuff." And but it's just got a whole array of really wonderful things that are related to our area.
Good deal. So Michael, you are the percussionist.
Yes.
So a percussionist. That's not just drums, it's all sorts of things. Tell us what your background is as far as your musical background. You've done this since you were 2 or just started last year?
Well, I actually started drumming when I was in like 5th grade. And I played snare, in my little band. Did
you have a band? You have a band in your garage or
basement?
Well,
that was I think actually rock and roll. I think Nirvana came out when I was in junior high, and we were playing drums in the. We're actually
like Teen Spirit and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember.
But it was funny because we were all drummers, So like one of us
would
try to play guitar. We'd try to play guitar, but we didn't know. We knew like 2 chords, So now I know a lot more guitar chords. But
so you can do that too. Huh?
But so I did percussion, and I was mostly a drummer, and then I started focusing on jazz drumming, and I was going to go to the University of Oregon and audition. And you have to audition into the percussion program there. And so I started taking lessons and learning some etudes, and I had always, because percussion, when you play classical percussion, you have not only non-pitched percussion instruments, but you have pitched percussion instruments like bells and xylophone and marimba, timpani, these types of things. And I avoided them like the plague. I hated them. Yeah, it was, well, for one, I really couldn't read melodic music even when I was in high school. And so when I started taking lessons in high school to prepare for my audition for University of Oregon, I started, learning an etude, and on this really junky marimba that my high school had where I grew up. And then when I went to my audition at the University of Oregon with Charles Dowd, who's my first percussion teacher, I played on this enormous marimba, and I'd never seen one. And I actually fell in love with the marimba in my audition at University of Oregon.
You finally had a good instrument to play.
Because I'd never seen it.
Huh?
This was a $10,000 7-foot.
You didn't have one of those at home. Huh?
Yeah, and now I do. I've got two.
Hey, all right, all right.
I've got too many, and I build marimbas, and I build lots of different instruments. And
where do you build them? Do you build them out of your home? Do you?
Yeah. I've got a little shop, and I make triangles. I make wind chimes. I make box drums and things like that. And I make marimbas.
So you are a musician by profession and a maker of musical instruments. Yeah.
And then I also compose for documentaries and film.
And I saw that. I was curious about that. How do you get into that?
Actually, I started composing for marimba mainly, and I have a lot of friends that decided to become editors and directors and things like that. And they would take my CDs and kind of slip them into the editing rooms. And and eventually, people would approach me either when I was playing, or somehow my music would get pushed into a film or a documentary, and it just slowly started happening. I wasn't really looking
People
forward to it.
People heard it and liked it, said, "Hey, for mine, I want that guy."
And it's funny, the last documentary, marimba's my main thing, but which is a big woodboard xylophone, if you don't know what that is.
And marimba's fun music.
Such a good
really
instrument.
Fun music. It makes people want to get up and dance.
Yes, it's such a beautiful instrument. And but the last documentary I worked on, I actually wrote a piece on marimba, and then I sent it to the editor, and they went to put it in, and the editor just called me back and said, "We can't put this in. I'm not even going to show the director. She doesn't want marimba at all." And I was like, So I had to.
Really?
I play piano, and so I rearranged it for piano, guitar, and percussion, and the piece that I wrote.
It's not a marimba type documentary, is it?
Yeah. Well, it was on the Camino de Santiago. The film is called Walking the Camino, and it's a very it's a cool documentary. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's
actually
locally.
I have.
So I got to compose 5 pieces for that film.
Impressive. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
So that is that what you support yourself with mostly? Is your composing? Can you make a living doing that?
Composing, you can. I don't. It's probably only a quarter of my income. Most of my income, and this is going to sound crazy, but I play marimba. Well, a big part of my playing, I play marimba at the airport.
Oh,
at
do
the
you?
PDX airport, 4 days a week for thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
I know more and more airports are doing that now. They're having the live music, but I have never been at the airport when anybody's been playing. Of course, I'm on red eye.
It helps reduce the stress.
Yeah, people come.
I'm sure. Thank you. I have a friend who plays. He's from New Orleans. He's a jazz musician from New Orleans, and he used to play at the airport down there. I was like, really? Yeah. I think that's great. It'd make it a lot more pleasant, especially if you have a layover or didn't make your flight.
It helps.
Yeah. So what's your favorite part of is it performing? Is it composing? Is it making the instruments? What do you like best?
Everything. Teaching too. And I get to teach a marimba class. I teach a marimba class at Riverdale Grade School. And that's over in Dunthorpe. It's near Lake Oswego. And but I made these marimbas, and they're the marimbas that a lot of groups are playing on in Portland are diatonic, meaning they only have the white keys, so they only play in one key. And they had this huge set of these, at the school when I went over there to do a marimba clinic, to try to get some students and things when I moved into the area. And I said, hey, can I teach a class? And I taught one class, and the kids, tons of kids signed up, for it. They wanted to play marimba, and it got so popular, that it just kind of kept growing and growing. But I kept asking the kids, hey, what do you want to play? And so tomorrow night we're playing Taylor Swift, and we're playing Meghan Trainor, and on marimba, playing All About That Bass on this huge bass marimba. And the girl playing bass, she's going to be dancing around, and she's got a bass solo.
That's a fun song anyway. So
yeah, it's super fun.
So you don't stick to just classical music at all, do you?
No, and yeah, I mean, at the airport, I mean, one of my last CDs, I got a grant through Kickstarter, arts funding website, and recorded my versions of the Nutcracker Suite, the Vivaldi's Winter Concerto, and Yesugera Mrs. Eyring. And so I'll play that, and I have a PA system, and I play the bottom 3 parts. I might play some of that in the presentation, but
on third
but then
Thursday.
I also
On third Thursday.
On third Thursday.
Yes.
Yes, and and then I also play Louis Armstrong and the Beatles and Radiohead and Elliot. I released an Elliott Smith record.
So you're all over the place.
So,
that makes it more fun, doesn't it? I mean,
it makes it more accessible.
Yeah,
You've got something for
something for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah, the little teeny boppers up
to
the grandpas.
To the classical.
Yeah, that's fun.
Folks.
That's great. That's great.
Try to appeal to everybody.
So this event that you're going to be doing, have you ever done anything like this before, where you actually talk to this little small group like this and talk? I mean, are you talking about your? You're not performing. I mean, maybe a little bit of performing, but what do you plan to talk about?
Well, I mean, it's kind of how the beat moves you, and so it's going to be more of the history of rhythm, and the history of which is the history of music, basically, because I mean, the human voice obviously is the first musical instrument, but then percussion, and hitting things, slowly, came after that, and flutes and things like that. But most, most historians kind of put percussion as like the first, instrument.
And you have some fun things.
And I have some fun things.
Maybe you could show us that. I imagine people didn't always start with a nice drum set. So show us some of these things that you brought here.
So I brought a plethora of things here. So this is probably the most interesting thing. We'll come back to this here in a second.
Okay.
This is, and one of the first instruments, it was probably a marimba or somebody striking a piece of wood, maybe a hollow piece of wood. This is a marimba bar that I've tuned, and I don't know if the cameras can see this, but it's tuned by taking wood off different parts of the wood, and you actually tune it to the note that way.
Wow.
So you use a special type of sander, oscillating spindle sander, to take the wood off.
That's a beautiful piece of wood,
and,
too.
This is Paduk. My classical marimba is made out of Honduran rosewood, which is a little more expensive, but has a better sound.
Get what you pay for, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But the first marimba was probably just, like set on some sticks, a board set on some sticks over a hole in the ground. And, and we've taken it quite a ways, So now we've got, tuned bars. We use a specific kind of wood. And we actually, instead of having a hole in the ground, we built a specific hole, to put the marimba over. And Cindy's going to help me out here for a second.
Show us how this
works. Let me show you how this works. So the hole, or the resonator, works to help the vibration and the amplification of the sound. So I'm going to just play the bar by itself. Okay. And so that's what it sounds like, just without the tube. And now I'm going to play it and slowly move it in front of the tube here.
Feel
pick that up. You feel it in your chest.
Yes.
So you think of my marimba. Thank you, Cindy. So my marimba has 51 of these keys and 51 tubes.
Wow.
And then I play with 2 mallets in each hand, so I can play 4 notes. So it's basically like having a big, huge 51 drum set, and you want to hit the bar right in the middle. So 51 drums this size, that you're playing with 4 sticks.
Wow.
So that's how I kind of describe the instrument.
That's very fun. We've only got a couple minutes left, so I want to see this
Jawbone
and this.
or this. Oh, this.
We got.
Okay, so this is a triangle. This is something that I've made. It's brass and let me just. So it has a really pretty sound. It's got a bunch of different frequencies. With the marimba, we want just one tone. Okay. With the triangle, the better they are, the more frequencies they have, packed into one note. So when you hit it, it has this spectrum of all these notes happening all at the same time. Because if you had a triangle and it was, say, an A, and the whole orchestra is playing an A sharp, it would sound terrible.
Yeah,
so you hit the triangle and it like has all these different pitches. Nice. And this is a jawbone, or this is an instrument made of an animal. This is a donkey jaw. It's also called a quijadas, and it's a South American instrument. And we've written it into a lot of contemporary percussion music, and now it's written into a lot of different pieces. But it's actually the teeth and all of the skin have been removed by some sort of acid, probably. I'm not sure. But it's actually struck with the hand like this, and the teeth rattle and make kind of a. You've probably seen those little things with the ball, and you hit them, and it goes. That's actually trying to sound like an actual jawbone. Nice. So.
Yeah, not everybody has a jawbone in there.
Not everybody has a jawbone. Yeah. So
we're just about out of time. So the event that you're going to be at is March 19th, correct?
March 19th at the Gresham Historical Museum on, I'm sorry, Main Street and 4th.
Yeah, Main Street, yeah.
Main Street and 4th. The doors open at 6:30. Everyone's welcome to come. You can buy your tickets at the door. We have complimentary wine and snacks. And a lovely evening with Michael.
I think it'll be great fun.
He's going to tell everything about it, and he's going to bring some instruments that people can
God only
practice
knows
what
you're going to bring.
So it'll be great fun. So
what body parts from some
exactly.
prehistoric animal. Thank you very much, Michael, for being here. Thank you, Cindy, for arranging this. Sounds like fun, so I'm going to try to make it too.
All right.
I enjoyed the last one. I think it'll be great. So thank you for watching this first segment of Community Hotline. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you want more information, we'll have the information on the screen as to how you can get your tickets, and you too can see Michael C. Smith at the Third Thursdays. I'm Monica Weitzel.
What local community media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.